When an egg is fertilized, all of its cytoplasm comes from the egg and none from the sperm. And the mitochondria lives in the cytoplasm. So essentially, all of our mitochondria come from our moms. Yeah, I think there's something cool about that. We usually think of ourselves as like, we are like a perfect mix of our mom and our dad. But there's one thing that I get just from my mom, and that's my mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of my cells. We can think about DNA as instructions for building your body parts. And in this case, the mitochondrial DNA sequence that codes for your ancestry doesn't build anything. It's just there. But that also means that changes can happen there without destroying the cell. It's like differences in this mitochondrial DNA that helps us differentiate us with other groups of people. To get my mitochondrial DNA sequence, I first started with a swab of my cheek cell. I used a DNA quick extract, and then I did PCR to make multiple copies of my mitochondrial DNA. And then once I got the sequence back, I put it into my Python script to generate the pattern and to kind of understand more of the structural quality. I did a digital simulation of it using Houdini, and then at that point I was kind of sold. Another thing too is that like just from the word, like the root word of mitochondria is mitos, which means threads. So I felt like it wanted to be woven. This is a 4-shaft floor loom that I'm using to weave. The ATGC of the DNA is mapped to the 4 shafts. Like this is shaft 1, so that's like A, T, G, and C. Technology is a good bridge between different medium. In my case, it's like molecular biology to textile. I think what comes from translation to different medium is like new meaning. When you just look at ATGC of a DNA sequence, I don't really get an emotional response. But if you see that information represented as a hand-woven textile, then people might have different connections to it. I'm trying to like give people objects that they can project their own stories into.